Well, hello, friends, and welcome to this presentation on the CFA Level 2 May 2026 exam results. My name is Dr. BJ Tolia. I'm the Level 2 professor at Kaplan, Schweser. So let's get started with first talking about the historic pass rates. So the historic pass rate has been about all-time average of 46% for the May 2026 exam window. The pass rate was pretty close, 43%. So not a whole lot of change, which is sort of counterintuitive because remember for this exam, CFA Institute allowed candidates for a free retake, but it didn't seem to affect the exam result, which we saw for level 1, where the exam results were lower, perhaps because some candidates chose to give up. But again, for level 2, the pass rate was pretty consistent across the board. Now, in this presentation, we are going to basically look at two aspects depending on whether you succeeded in your attempt or not. So let's talk first about those who passed the exam. So what's up next? Well, first of all, celebrate, enjoy this moment. And next, you need to kind of do some introspection and determine what are the things that you did that worked for you. Because everybody has a different learning style, and it is not one size fits all. So based on your exam result, you realize what actually worked for you. Also, you should realize what needs improvement, especially when you look at the topical analysis of your scores. You will see some topic areas that you didn't do as well, and what is it that you did differently for those topic areas. Didn't spend as much time, didn't do enough practice, whatever it was. Find out what needs improvement. So obviously going forward for level 3, you can address those areas. So finally, start the level 3 preparation process early. You already know when you are in a time crunch, your preparation process is less than ideal. It is not going to be as impactful. So what you want to do is to spread it out and start level 3 early. All right. So for those of you who did not make it in the May sitting, well, again, the only good aspect is you are allowed the retake for free. Well, but even if you are going to retake for free, it still means that you have to now devote the time necessary to pass it. So what are the top reasons for failure? First one is not following a structured study plan. It is not about the number of hours you put in. How you allocate those hours is very important. What are the things that you need to accomplish? What are the things that you need to check off from your list of to-do things? And that's where our task feed in our LES, in our Kaplan Learn ecosystem will help you. All right. Another reason for failure is inefficient approach. Inefficient approach could be where you are a passive learner. So where you are reading or watching a video, but you are not actively learning. Active learning requires practice, and practice means doing lots of questions. And when I say doing a lot of question, again, don't do a shortcut where you read the question and read the solution. That is not active learning. Put pencil to paper and see if you have recollection of the underlying learning, and if you are able to answer the question without having to look up the formula, without having to refer to your notes. So that is, again, not devoting enough time to practice. That is a very, very, very important aspect of, failure to pass. And finally, we also notice that sometimes you are not learning, meaning you may be spending the time, but you have technical gaps. And that technical gaps is because you are not understanding. Perhaps you are just allocating or putting that content into rote memorization. That is inefficient learning. It's not going to be retained for long duration. And again, because you're spreading your learning out for many, many months, it is important to focus on the retention. So understanding is very, very, very important, not just memorization. So that needs to be addressed the next time around. And then finally, for some candidates, it's just plain bad luck. I mean, there are a variety of reasons why candidates fail. One of them being that the night before the exam, they didn't get a good night's sleep. And so they were not as alert and efficient while on the day of the exam. Or exam day anxiety. That is very, very real. So if that was you, well, you need to again address those concerns, and how are you going to do it differently the next time around? So what is it that the future holds? Well, again, what will you do differently to pass this exam? And make a list of things. Again, it differs from person to person. Start your studies early. Again, it is something that you're not necessarily looking forward to. Most people will not be looking forward to, but start early so that you're able to spread it out. And this time, perhaps even enjoy the learning process. The stuff that you're learning is very real world. So try to figure out why things are done the way they are according to the curriculum. And once you start internalizing that learning, it will go a long way in making it less burdensome, less painful. Use your exam results as a guide. So it'll give you topical analysis of how you did by individual topic areas, and that will be helpful in terms of reallocation of limited time resource. And organize your study plan. Remember the 3 P's of Kaplan way: prepare, practice, and perform. So prepare is where you're learning the underlying material. Again, you're including practice in it. In the prepare phase, practice is sprinkled throughout. The practice phase is where you're applying what you learned, and then perform is doing the mock exam and reviewing the material in the month prior to the exam. So from our team, good luck for your second attempt, or depending on your particular situation, or those who are moving on to level 3.